Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. It's your boy Dreads. Today, I'm gonna talk a little bit about movies I think that should be made and crossover movies that could save franchises. I know it's the age of comic book movies, and we got the Justice League and the Avengers, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about ways to save some franchises that I think had some promise, but then somewhere along the way just sort of lost their way with sequels, like we've seen in the past. So, starting out, I'm going to start off with Ronan the Accuser. I think that a solo movie for him could really expand the MCU. I think you can have a prequel about his days as a Kree general, do something completely different from Marvel, and get someone like Quentin Tarantino to come in there and direct that. I think if you have a Ronan the Accuser movie, a solo movie about his days as a Kree general and the wars and the different things that he was doing out in space in the universe, it would introduce a lot of different characters and give Marvel a chance to do something that they never really do, and that's focus on the villains. And who knows, maybe Thanos could show up in that, maybe the one above all, maybe, of course, Stan Lee got to be in there. But yeah, just a little something different. Have a Ronan the Accuser movie, make it go a little bit darker, get Quentin Tarantino to come in there and direct that for you, and I think it'll be very successful. He's a cool character, has cool weapons, cool ship, the Dark Aster, has a rich history with the Kree Empire, and I think it's something that could be expanded upon, because what they did in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 was pretty horrible when you compare how he was in that movie to the character that we see in the comic books. So it's a way to sort of try something different for Disney than what they're used to. But hey, I can't tell Disney nothing. They make money hand over fist by the billions. So it's just, my opinion on something they can do that give the fans a little something different. But moving on, I think the next way you could save two franchises is Purge and Saw movie mixed together. If you have like a crossover movie with the Purge and Saw universes, I think they're right in the same type of genre. If you look at the cinematography I'm showing, you really can't tell which one's from a Purge movie and which one's from a Saw movie because the universes, aesthetically look the same when you're watching the movies. So I believe that both of them have kind of gotten stale over the years. And a way that you can save both franchises is to have some sort of crossover universe. Because I think in a Purge universe, Jigsaw would pretty much exist perfectly. He is perfectly made for a Purge universe. And I think that the Purge movies, even though they had promise and it was a great idea, they just haven't been done or produced right or written right. The scripts are bad, the stories are bad. The movies both of them need like a shot of adrenaline to get people back interested in them. The last Purge movie was bad, and even the last Saw movie was bad. So, a way that you can save both franchises and get interest back up is to have both franchises come together and make some sort of crossover movie. I think that would be best because where do they go from here? Is anybody interested or anticipating any Saw movie or any Purge movie in the future? Are you really on the internet trying to find out, oh, when it's coming out? No. So it'll be best to save both franchises, a Purge and Saw movie crossover. Next, I want to say that Da Vinci Code and Indiana Jones should be mixed, should be crossed over because Indiana Jones is one of the most famous franchises in the history of film, and it's just at a stalemate right now. Nothing's being done with it. The last one was horrible, and also Tom Hanks, what he was trying to do with the Da Vinci Code in that series, I think that that's at a stalemate. Also, it's nothing being done with that. So, what's the best way or best thing you could do to save both franchises? I think that if you sort of had a storyline where for some reason they're chasing the same artifact and they end up at the same place at the same time, and you will get two of the greatest, Tom Hanks and Harrison Ford, on the screen at the same time. It's a way to end that franchise if you wanted to pass the torch. Maybe you can have a Chris Pratt, showing up in that movie somewhere, if you want to pass the Indiana Jones torch off to him. But as far as the crossover movie, I think that it would help both franchises because Da Vinci Code, it should end with one more movie And I think that the Indiana Jones series should be passed over in the next movie. So if you would have Chris Pratt, Harrison Ford, and Tom Hanks all on the screen at the same time, handling both franchises, one, you could end the Da Vinci Code series. Two, you could pass the torch off from the Indiana Jones series. It works out both ways. Both these franchises are worth saving, but the scripts have been bad in the last Indiana Jones movie. So a way you could save them, bring them together. You know, you can get two legends on the screen at the same time, and that way, I think we all win, as far as movie fans. Moving on, the last movie I think we're gonna try to cross over and save both franchises is Underworld and Resident Evil. I think these films both have promise and great origin stories or first movies that started their series out. And then from there, all of a sudden, you know, around the second, third, fourth, fifth movie, the stories just gotten out of hand. The characters and people that you actually were looking forward to, they got killed off unexpectedly or too soon, or they weren't even written for in a way that you thought you would even, you know, come to expect. Like Victor, you know, great character, or from Underworld to the guy that was a hybrid. You know, like they have cool characters that they would introduce, but they would never expand on them, give them no screen time. It was just really, really poor scripts for both movies. Resident Evil the same way. I mean, how many times are you gonna make the same movie about the same thing? That's literally the last three or four Resident Evil movies have literally been the same. So the way that you could save both franchises is bring both of them together. You need a Resident Evil and a Underworld crossover movie. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. Once again, I'm your boy Dreads, and I will catch you out there in the universe.